It Happened on the Job, the podcast for relatable conversations with contractors. Sponsored by Goodman Insurance.
Welcome to It Happened on the Job. We are your podcast for relevant and relatable conversations with contractors, hopefully bringing a little entertainment to you as well. My name is Mike. That's Brian.
Yo.
Episode 69 today.
69,
Our guest is Allan Horn, president, founder of Precision Wallcovering and Painting. How you doing, Allan?
Good. Glad to be here.
Allan?
Thanks for coming in, man. We got a local guy here. He's just down the road in San Juan,
Which is rad.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun when we get guys in here. So again, thanks for coming in. Do us a little favor. Kind of give us a brief history, or maybe a long history, however long it takes. How you got started in this industry and the road to where you are now.
We're painting and wall covering contractors mainly.
Okay.
We have a division that does some general contracting on assisted living and hotels. I started off, it's kind of a family business. My father had paint stores in Orange County.
Like retail stores?
Retail stores in the 70s and 80s. In the 80s, he sold, the 70s, he sold all his paint stores and opened a wallpaper store. And then I got a job while I was in...
Wallpaper's not really around anymore.
No,
huh?
well, it is more than you think.
Is it really?
So, he sold his paint stores, went into wallpaper business. And then I got a job installing wall covering because I knew a little bit about it coming out of high school. And then I worked for a couple guys, learned the trade of how to do it professionally. I knew how to sell it because I worked for my dad.
Right.
And then just kind of grew and hired a couple friends of mine. And that's in 79. I was in college. I needed a couple buddies to help me out and just kept going. And some of those guys I hired who are childhood friends of mine are still working for me today.
Really?
Over 40 years later.
No kidding.
So that's a big part of our company is our team.
Yeah.
You know, we're selling labor, so either paint or wallpaper labor. So they got to be good, do a clean job, neat, presentable.
Yeah.
We work everything from high-end homes. Just that one, today, $20+ million home on the bay, or it could be, a hotel or a theater, parks. We do a lot of different aspects of painting and wall covering. So the guys have to be very presentable, knowing if it's a residential job, we have a different set of things we do versus a commercial job.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, it sounds like you're doing a little bit of everything right now, just one niche. You kind of have diversified across all different.
Yeah, we have we have in the office, we have a wallpaper estimator. All she does is commercial wallpaper projects, a lot of multifamily apartments, all the common areas, hotels, things like that. Then we have two painting estimators that work on all kinds of invites from painting contractors all over. General contractors for paint projects, and some of those have wall covering on them. And if they're small wall covering jobs, they'll do the takeoff and handle that. And then we have Irma, who's our kind of a operations. She handles all the smaller call-in wallpaper jobs, and we do about 800 jobs a year.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Only a
So
couple, huh?
there's quite a few. And we bid about double that. So we get about 50% of the jobs. And
That's pretty, I feel like that's a pretty high ratio, right?
Yeah. Well, remember, some of them are on the wallpaper side. It could be Susie Homemaker with a bathroom. We talk to them on the phone. It's
10 square feet or
$400 bucks,
Yeah.
$400 to $500. And then it could be a job like we just finished for a year. We're at Paula Casino, did a complete remodel there of all the 500 rooms on the hotel side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's the
range.
The range. It's a big range, but we kind of, we don't keep all our crews busy all the time. So by doing this diversified scope of types of jobs, we can keep them all going all the time.
Yeah.
But we have to have very organized on our specs.
Yeah, that's from a scheduling standpoint, that's got to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So from a labor standpoint, how many guys do you have in the field?
There's about 30 guys in the
30?
field.
Okay.
Yeah. Paint and wallpaper.
Wow, that's a lot to manage there. From a hiring standpoint, what are you looking for when you hire guys for the field or girls for the field? Are you looking more for experience or guys that fit your culture? Yeah.
Well, we're looking for both. We like to feel that we have someone that wants to join our team, and they understand our culture, and they have to. Usually a lot of our people that get referred to us are from our employees, current employees.
Yeah.
So we bring them on and we interview them. We do our check the references, and then we do a paint test if it's painters. Wallpaper, we'll do a test on something in our office. But most of the time, it's they have experience. We know of them, or they know of us, and it's a warm relationship.
Yeah.
Very rarely do we go out just kind of for labor wise cold.
Yeah.
If we do, it's a little bit more qualifications. We check them out a little more.
What does a paint test look like? You guys have something in your office you set up and paint them a wall, or
we have a written test.
Okay.
We have also just a cut in on a doorway. We have here's a brush, and here's a quart of paint. Here's the cut in, and the wall's white. They're using dark gray. We see how it cuts against the door frame. And we can tell by the way they handle their brush, how they open it. It becomes pretty evident if they're professional or they're want to be a professional.
No, that's smart. I mean, having them do that little aptitude test right there.
Yeah, just to cut to the chase,
Right. Yeah.
And we can say, hey, you're not really up to speed, to be our painter. We have laborers, we have apprentices, we have painters, we have journeyman painters, we had a foreman and field manager. So you're at this level, and we'll see how you do, and maybe you can move up.
Right.
Or it might be a little long while. Depends on how much you want it.
Yeah. So on that, the training process, it sounds like you just kind of find where they fit into the system and kind of put them and follow with a guy that have been, I would assume, been there for a while.
Yeah, and if they have the right attitude, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
and
for
the
sure.
right culture you're talking about. If they have the right attitude and they're willing to learn, and we have a list of things a apprentice does and knows, and then a painter has a larger list. And it kind of grows, adds up on each one, so that you fit right here. And if you want to go, here's what you need to learn, and here's where
that's cool. Giving them a kind of a clear path and a vision.
We want to give them a clear path, and we do reviews. I know we're trying to make our culture a big thing because we want the best guys, and if we all get a little better, our company's going to get better.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
We want jobs that people don't want us to bid every job at their low number. They want us because they know what we do, and they want it willing to pay our price for a fair price. We're not going to gouge anyone, but we need to pay, comp, liability insurance. Now we have health benefits we've recently added to our mix. Yeah. So we're hoping by offering our team that, we're going to have people that want to have
more loyalty,
more quality, and our customers see that we take care of the same guys in the job because we have the same customers a lot of times, and just get a good rapport going with everyone.
Yeah. So on the customer base, where are you guys finding most of your work? It sounds like a lot of it is inbound.
Yeah, a lot of it is, I've been.
Is that just word of mouth from being around for so long?
Yeah, I have. I've been doing this for 41 years. So our 41st year in business. So I have a lot of clients. So right now, I'm a GC job coming up. This is the third time on a remodel for this job, a hotel. I've known them for 40 years. And this is every time we've done a little more, just first it was just wallpaper. And when I started off, 40 years ago, we met this guy, owner, and then next time we did paint and wallpaper, and now this time we're doing full GC the whole job.
So are you subbing out a lot of that other work then that's not painting or wallpapering?
Yeah, we do the in-house drywall repair. If it's big jobs, we'll go ahead and sub that out. Then on plumbers, we have relationships with, flooring guys we have relationships with, cabinet people. So we have relationships with people that we use over and over because they do a good job. Their price is fair. And
you can trust them. It's a lot like your team that you have internally.
Exactly. Yeah. We want a good team. It's all about having a good team that the trust, they get done efficiently and quickly, because a lot of these projects I'm talking about, efficiency and being done quickly is a big thing. They don't have time. They want it done compacted, schedule, accelerated. And if I can do that, save the supervision and to get them back online quicker on a hotel room, that's a big thing. Assisted living, they don't want to be down with anyone in their facility very long, especially now with this COVID thing going on.
Yeah, assisted living,
So we really try to be very efficient.
So kind of on that subcontractor relationship a little bit, how did you come about, like when you needed those and you started this remodel division, where did you see yourself going to find those subs? Were they people that you've known just from being around the industry for a while, or did you have to actually start interviewing people, or how did that
a
process
little bit
work?
of both.
Yeah.
A lot of them were, people I know, the flooring guy, and we went back and forth, and he'd throw me wallpaper paint jobs. I'd throw him flooring jobs and refer. So when it came down to a job that I needed a flooring person,
Sub, yeah.
I'd use sub him. And then also we went out to bid on some things he doesn't do. So we went to bid on a couple and picked up the phone or emailed and did it that way out of the Blue Book way back in the day. And those are a lot of the same people. And some new subs is just kind of the same way. Went out to bid out of the Blue Book or relationships, anyone they know, relationships with our current subs, if they know a plaster guy, So that's how it's been.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of connections from doing
I'm
this
sure,
for so long.
being around for that long, staying in one spot like that. Like,
We've been the same company for 40 years. We haven't changed names. I haven't moved around. A lot of the same generals.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of good relationships with good people, and if they're good people, I want to grab a hold and take me for a ride. So some of them have. We've done a lot of LA Fitnesses. So I did that for a while. We did 40 of them for a while. We're doing a bunch. We did BJ Pizzerias where we did these digital graphics, and my guy went on the road and did those for for 6 months, and then did Rite Aid pharmacies. We did that, and he was doing that for a couple of years. One guy, that's all he did. So
just travel around all different stores.
He was doing the stores that we had really from California mainly.
Yeah. So obviously you're very diversified in that way. How has kind of what's been going on lately with the COVID stuff and I have to imagine some work maybe slowed down and others maybe picked up. Where was the balance there?
Well, one of our assisted living, they told us verbal we had the job, but then they were not letting anyone in the facility. We bid it before the COVID, and they said, we'll see if we can do it by the year end for capital expenditures, or is it going to be next year, rolled over to next year on that one? So we're not sure about that. Another assisted living, I just signed the contract yesterday, and they're going to do it done by the end of the year, by Thanksgiving. So that's their deal. So, everyone's a little different.
Yeah.
And then, we have a hotel that we'll be doing, I said the third time. That one, they're shut down because they're by Disneyland.
Right.
Okay.
And Disneyland's shut down. Yeah. So they're trying to expedite it.
Before they open up again.
Exactly, So everyone's a little different story, and just try to, see where they're at.
All those different schedules,
And be, everyone's very compliant with their protocols. And then my team, they're wearing all their protective equipment all the time.
You have to now.
We have to. We supplied them all. We've done tests when we're on a job. If someone from another trade's tested positive, anyone on that job goes and gets tested.
Yeah.
And then we have found a relationship with a lab that can do it in 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
That's usually like 2, 3, 4 days.
Yeah,
right?
we can't.
Oh yeah, you can't wait.
I can't wait. Time is money. So we're on it. So they've gone ahead and turned it around. Like we do it in the morning, and they'll have results by that evening.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Good.
That's the fastest I've heard.
It's actually a lab. So we go to the lab. We don't go to the clinic. We
don't go to the blood draw place.
You don't go to the middleman. You go right to the
lab. And so that's been helpful, to keep us moving. If someone, and luckily no one's really been exposed on our jobs, but one of our guys has been exposed from his family member. Mm-hmm. So he's off for 2 weeks till he's tested negative, and then he'll come back.
Yeah.
So.
Crazy. Just one more thing to manage right now, right?
Exactly.
How was it when everything kind of started back in March in terms of morale of the team and even, I guess, on the job level? Like, where was that at for those first 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, first 2-3 weeks, everyone went on hold, and it was like, what's going on here? And some things were, kind of going, and then everyone started masking up. And then some jobs got pushed back, and some were hurry up, and we just masked up and did our protective gear, and then we applied for the paycheck, Paycheck Protection program, and we received money, and we took that money and went to some charities. We did some charity work pro bono right in our local area.
Keep your guys working.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So we did a pro bono job for Shay Equestrian Therapeutic Riding Center.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
in
Yeah,
San Juan.
yeah.
So we painted their second floor for free.
Yeah.
We got on that one, we got Sherwin-Williams to donate the paint. We provided all the labor to keep our guys working.
Yeah.
And we
What
used
a-
that money.
What a great idea, man.
Yeah.
You're like the first person I've heard that did something like that, was able to, because I was thinking morale, right? Usually it's more like guys aren't working, they're concerned
They
about
get
their
scared of
jobs,
their
family,
job,
right?
yeah.
But you got these guys working, and not only do you have them working, but in an environment where they're actually helping people and they're actually getting to see that, that's awesome.
It was really good.
Very
And-
cool.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really good. We did another one for a community center in Santa Ana, a low income area. And we did it where they had a community center that was pretty worn down, just not really worn out, just needed a fresh paint job.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did some chair rail and paint job on it and stained everything and made it look fresh and new. And that's the area they have. They help people become independent financially. A lot of Spanish speakers in that area. They also give out donation of food bank there. It's just a community area to help the low income.
Yeah.
And I went there. Both these people called me for a bid, but I went out there and said, on that project in Santa Ana at what was the name? I'm blanking right now on the name. They needed it bad, and they needed it really bad because it was so worn out.
Yeah.
Shay was just, they called me and needed just a touch up really. And it was good for my crew to go ahead and do that. But also we kept our office staff all working from home. They all went, and all our
You guys were able
estimators
to work remote.
remote. We set up all the computers remotely, and they're all going full bore. So actually, we're bidding a lot of jobs, and I think those jobs are starting to kind of come around now.
Starting to close them and move up. Yeah.
Become jobs because
Yeah.
there's a lead, there's a lag time.
Right.
And so those jobs are becoming jobs now, and my office staff kind of got good momentum for it because they thought that was a great idea to keep us going. Because when other people were kind of
Yeah.
going into low down and
You guys were
hunkered
still
down,
100%,
we were
yeah.
going full bore.
Yeah.
So our goal was to use that money for our crew
Yeah.
and keep all the paychecks going.
That's awesome.
Are you guys is your office staff still working from home, or have you brought them back?
No, they all came back to
Yeah.
the office. They're all working in the office now. And they are, we actually hired someone new. We had them tested before
Yeah,
they came into
yeah.
our little world.
Your bubble?
Yeah, our bubble.
Your
They're in the
bubble,
bubble,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the NBA bubble,
bubble,
kind of the same thing. We try to keep it on the low down, but everyone's been, really good on our whole protocol. We don't have really people going in or out of office.
Yeah.
They leave all their stuff, deliveries on the doorstep, and we go out and pick them up and just kind of do what we can.
Do what you can.
Yeah,
do
that's
what you
what we
can. So maybe speak to the management setup that you guys have. I know your son Chad was supposed to be here today and couldn't, but what are the the different roles that you guys have, and how do you guys manage that?
Well, Chad's really the HR side and computers thing. I'm a kind of the sales guy.
Yeah.
So we kind of break it up a little bit. And then as I said, we have good people. I have our estimators, Tim, our lead estimator. He's pretty savvy on our software, and we're using on-center takeoff on our software for takeoffs, Excel spreadsheets. We're starting to implement right now a new project management software, Builder Trend, very similar to Procore. A lot of people use Procore, but Procore wants to be your partner. They want a little piece of the pie. They're very expensive, so we went a little bit because we're not a large general contractor where they need all that big, robust system.
Yeah.
So Chad's helping us with that as well as Tim. So we have that's kind of our management team, and then in the field we have a project manager, Melissa, who really long range stuff, submittals, job walks. Once we get the projects, get them going, our foreman files put together, everything going, our budgets. And then we have a field manager that goes to all our jobs, make sure the equipment's all there, running properly. The guys are all know where they're to be. Everything's done on their phones for their time apps and schedule. So that's kind of how we're working.
Got it all dialed, huh?
It's always improving.
Yeah.
It's always moving. It's not static. It's always trying to get a little better. That's kind of what we tell our team.
Yeah.
We're right now in the process also of, we got some videos to improve our service, improve our phone protocol for the office staff, to have the intercommunications, just to make it a better place to work and a good culture.
Yeah. And I imagine there's probably some interaction with clients, especially when you're doing residential stuff. For you guys in the field, that's important too, to keeping that reputation. Yeah,
our foremen definitely have, to manage the customer's expectations, and we want to be totally transparent with them and tell them what's going on in their job. Our foremen get their budgets; they know how many hours they have to do the job. They have the good clear scope of work, and they go through that with the customer. And if they see anything, they stop and get approvals, and just make sure especially on the residential side, that everything's done. Yeah. Communication. And that's part of that skills training we're going to be going on, is improve communication and with our customers as well as in the office.
Right. So what are some, obviously we've talked a little bit about some of the newer challenges in the last few months with the COVID stuff, but outside of that, what are some of the daily challenges you guys face or hurdles you kind of got to get over that are, seem to be more often than others? Making sure, in our industry in finishes, painting, wall covering, the end of the job, we paint the job and then we're done. And then the tradesmen come through and put carpet in, and then they hang a picture, and that's move it over 2 feet, and then they bang the carpet, and everything's all banged up, and they think we can come back and touch up, and we have to say, that's not touch up. Yeah. Touch up is something we did. It's a drip or a sag or a holiday with something we missed. But when when the tile guy has grout on the wall and you want us to scrape his grout and patch it and paint it, that's not a touch up. That's trade damage. That idea of touch up, it needs to be clarified. Yeah. And we have that on our proposals, and we have to.
You got to get that at the beginning.
It's definitely in there, and it's in our industry standard. But everyone's mind is a little different. Yeah. And so having them come back and try to do a touch-up, it's really, it's trade damage. And I can't be doing that because I don't have
You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off all over the place.
And that's what happens in the painting industry. If you do it all for free, you got to charge 20% more in the front. Right. And so, you have to, the expectation and have it in writing ahead of time. Yeah. We follow the standards of the industry. Anything that's trade damage, it's defined, and what's touch-ups, it's all right there. Yeah. We'll take care of any touch-ups, no problem. And we can give you allowance for one guy for a day, or we can give you, 2 guys for 2 days, whatever it might be, to get your trade damage repaired, so that when you hand over the final product to the end user, it looks brand new, perfect.
So, it sounds like from what I'm hearing, you guys have a pretty robust system. In terms of communication and contracts and different things.
Scheduling.
Yeah. Is that because of the 41 years? I'm assuming, are these like things that happen, or is this from your father who was like,
no, this
hey,
is
Allan, don't be an idiot, do this instead?
No, he was in the retail end, so it's totally different.
That's true. Yeah.
He was selling it, here you go, it's gone, and out the door. But what I have to do is I make sure what we do, my guys apply it and it looks done, complete 100%. But all the stuff has come from trial and error, tribulations, and trying to find the path. And we belong to the Painting Contractors of America Association, so we
lot of information.
We go to conventions and bring my staff there. We brought, I think, 5 people there this last year to the national convention, and it's seminars, and they all, we didn't go to the same seminar. I went to the more management one. They went to the estimators, went to estimating operations. So we gained a little knowledge there, and every afternoon we just kind of chat about it and took notes and tried to implement it. So that's how we kind of got a little better, and just kind of learned over time.
Yeah. From 1979 to now, obviously, you started out with just a couple buddies that you hired because you needed some help, and now you've got 30 employees in the field and probably 10 or 12 more in an office.
Yeah.
What was there a turning point, something that kind of, I guess, threw a little gasoline on that fire for growth, or has it just been literally gradual for 41 years?
It's been gradual, but I think the last 5 years with Chad, having my
that
son,
youth, right? That youth injection.
that energy,
Yeah.
that energy,
Yeah.
and the he's a smart kid, way better than his dad, so he gets that from his mom. So he's a smart guy, and so coming in, and he wants to make it successful for him. He had a great life himself as a kid, saw it growing up, and he wants to make it better. And he's doing that. And that's been a constant theme for me, is how can we make it better?
Yeah.
And so he's just helping me to take it to the next level. And I'm slowly, hopefully,
Succession plan, working away.
We're talking about that now.
Yes.
And getting the core management group and core, need everyone from the guy taping good, because if he doesn't tape good, the overspray to the paper hangers, everyone's got to do a good job. And we have all our team on the same idea to get a little better.
Yeah.
We're going to be the best out there, and that's our goal.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think that sounds like I said, the operations, the systems, the communication, all that. But it sounds like you guys are still young. You're 41, but you're young, right?
Well, I'm not 41.
No, the company.
The company. I'm talking about the company.
Yeah.
In terms of the mindset, right? It's let's learn something new every day. Let's be adaptable, and let's be
a lot of 41-year-old companies are kind of
like,
we're real comfortable riding where we're at.
I like
it.
No. I think there's always room for improvement. Not be static, and the market's changing, like this PPP we talked about.
Right.
You got to be on the lookout to how to make the moves for what's going to happen in the future and what you got going now.
Yep.
If you're stagnant and think it's good, I've seen them go like this and just. One good guy leaves and it starts going downhill quickly, and you're only as good as your last job, and so
especially in this industry, man.
you got to be on it. Yeah. So keeping everyone on their toes, I think it's a big thing for us, and just trying to get better. And now with the software, with project management software, having checklists, having time maps, you can see where your guys are. They get through the job, there's a checklist they have to go through, set up, clean up, touch up, all their things they do. Project management, same thing. Search of insurance, business licenses, contract signed. All those things are done before we get out on the job. So everything's
set
organized.
Up those systems.
Yeah, everything's set up so everyone knows their part. And so we have it done. And even the guys in the field knowing the scope of work clearly. So because customers always ask, can you paint that over there? Well, that's not part of the job.
Yeah.
and my guys, if they didn't have the scope and go on through that, they would say, "Oh, sure, make the customer happy."
Yeah.
But
There's an extra hour and a half. Yeah.
An hour and a half, an hour and a half, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It adds up. So they have able to go. So that's not on my scope. I'll be glad to do it for you. It's going to be a field change order. Here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. If it is. No, let me. Alan said we could do it. Let me call Alan and we'll find out if that is.
Yeah.
And if it is, I said do that little touch ups. No big deal. Hour, do it.
Yeah.
Clean up the waste. I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So were some of those processes and everything, because you hear a lot to companies that grow and maybe don't have the right processes and systems in place, and kind of goes haywire. Whereas maybe the more successful ones are some of the different style, I guess, would be to kind of take that gamble and that risk and put out because there's capital expenditures, right? That come into all these systems and all these. So it takes a little bit of like, hey, should we do this or not? And kind of walking out on the ledge there and paying for those things and setting those things up before you grow. Which kind of mindset were you guys in?
I think it's just kind of, we had a nice, for 41 years, it's kind of been like this.
Yeah.
We've had a couple hiccups, but it's been pretty constant growth the whole time. So with that being said, I didn't, make any radical changes at any time. I think probably right now with our Builder Trend software is probably the biggest change we've ever made.
Yeah.
Everything else has been built on and added on and just kind of built over time.
Yeah.
But now this is a kind of all new. So, we had T-sheets for our time app, and we had our job logs. Now everything's going to Builder Trend, where it's
everything's
all in one.
Yeah.
So that their time, they see the plans on their phones. They can see the scope. Their everything's available to them. So more transparency to our guys in the field, and it's a matter of keeping it clean.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's we hear that from a lot of people with whether it's the Builder's Tradesman's app or Procore or anything else. I mean, having that, that all-in-one that anyone can access at any time is pretty awesome.
And then where the breakdown is.
Yeah.
You
and you can
Right.
hit that quick.
Yeah.
You need to know if there is a breakdown, where it is.
Yeah.
Who didn't get the certificate of insurance is supposed to be there? We can't get on the job, you know?
Yeah.
And so we know that was project managed by our project manager. So what happened?
Yeah.
We kind of can pinpoint where the fault lies and how we can rectify it, take care of it right away.
Quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So having that in place and some of these other things you've set up, and obviously Chad being a part of it, where do you see yourselves going? Like, what's the future look like? What's the goals in the next 5, 8 years, 10 years?
Well,
if you're even around, or
I'm going to be. I have a
on
kind
a beach in Mexico.
No, not quite like that. I like to work, but not that hard. So I think come in at 10 and leave at 2 is good.
Yeah, right,
Yeah. But I think more of the general contracting jobs. Take a little
Is that
more of
something that's
those.
exciting you guys?
I've done everything else. I've just about done.
Yeah.
After all these years of doing every kind of job there is, and now doing that and knowing what needs to be done for the finish, and doing that would be an area I want to grow in. I have another son who went to Long Beach State for construction management, and he's working for a DPR, a large union contractor.
Yeah.
He's working right now on a project down in San Diego at Oceanside, 2 hotels at the base of the pier, underground parking, bridge over the top, 2 big hotels. So he's kind of
gaining some knowledge and experience.
Well, he's on my board of directors,
Yeah.
So we bounce things off each other, and he has ideas from coming from a large company and what they're doing in situations, and we kind of take a little of that and to what can work for us. And he might eventually come into the business, back into the business. He worked for me a few years back when he was in college.
Yeah.
And so, we don't know if that's going to happen, but going forward and more in that GC world, more assisted living, because we're only getting older. And
So you move there, and then you'll be working there.
I'll be directing it from the room. There's my crew working in my hotel. No, but also doing more hotels, because we do a lot of those. We have a couple going on. You guys probably drive right by it right here at Lake Forest in the 5, the Spring Hill Suite.
Oh yeah,
We're doing that right now on the paint and wallpaper.
That's brand new, right?
It's going up right now. We're doing it right now. We're about 3/4 way through the wallpaper section. Comes from the top down. We have a new one going in LA, a new hotel that's kind of unique. They're building pods in China,
And just stacking them up.
and they stack in.
Yeah.
And they're small, and they come off the boat, and they put them in this high rise.
Yeah.
And then all we're doing, nothing in the rooms, just the common area, the corridors, and the first floor, second floor areas. So it's kind of interesting.
It'd be fun to see that go up.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I haven't been on site for a while, but my crew's been there, and they just kind of link and log, plug and play. Hook up the supply lines.
I was gonna say, hook
power,
up the plumbing and
water,
power and
that's
go to
it.
go.
Yeah, but they're real small units, but it's kind of interesting. It's new kind of construction. It's called Citizen M Hotel.
We've had a few guys that have done either modular or a lot of offsite stuff on here too. So there's just crazy seeing where this construction world is going and some of the new trends that are out there.
Yeah, the new trends is definitely the software with this project management is a big thing. And so I think if you're a small guy doing residential one-man show, that's great. But if you want to grow, you've got to get onto the technology, because you have to go onto Procore to get your submittals going and get the updates on addendums and change orders. That's the way of the world.
Yeah. No, it's definitely. I think construction's always lagged behind in that aspect, but I think there's been a big push in the past 5-10 years.
Definitely.
If not less than that. For contractors kind of go that way, which is a big reason why we are here doing what we're doing now, right? I mean, 5 years ago, did you know what a podcast was, or did you want to listen to a podcast, right? And now we're getting contractors that are involved in this and being a little bit more digital and posting on their social media about some of this stuff, and it's definitely a
we had a guy
new
here
game.
a couple episodes ago that's starting his own podcast. And so I mean, it's just weird. Anyways, but
definitely a new game.
Yeah, definitely a new game, and you got to be kind of, as I said, you got to be kind of looking at what's out there and make the
Being
changes
nimble.
necessary. Be nimble. If you're not, you're gonna be left behind.
Yeah.
Quickly.
It's going to start moving real quick.
Yeah.
Some of the, obviously all the other industries, out there, they move pretty quickly because of technology. And I think construction's been pretty slow, but I think it's getting to that point where it's going to start moving pretty quickly and you better be ready to move with it.
Yeah, and definitely the schedules, being all online and everyone, building schedules and sending them out. You got to be on top of it, especially anything that's of size and consequence.
Were you guys involved at all in that Marriott, that new Marriott that went down there in San Juan, right down? I think it's right off Ortega. I hear it's really, really nice.
It's probably really nice. Artie Olson built that one. They asked us to bid it, but I've bid it. Sometimes you do a bunch of bids to someone and you never get any jobs.
Check bids.
You're the check bid.
I'm not going to do that
You're
anymore.
the check bid.
I've done that, so I this is when we do our bids, we kind of,
You learn your lesson.
We do it about 3 or 4 of them, and then we just talk turkey. Hey, we've done a few. You got to give me one, or give dog a bone, or nothing. So on that one, I just said I'll pass. I can't do it. There was I saw some of the drawings. It was a beautiful.
Yeah, I got a buddy that works for Marriott. They just walked it because I think they're opening up next week, and he said
it's just
awesome.
about done. My office is directly across from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw a rock to it. I would love
across the freeway or on the same side?
I'm across the freeway on the other side. If you're on the east side of the 5, right there off the off ramp.
Okay, so just that, like where Bad to the Bone and those other restaurants are right down there.
24-hour fitness.
Okay,
exactly where you are.
Right there.
Yeah.
They redid that 24-hour fitness, right? Or they built a new building.
They took the
old one out and moved it.
Moved it to the new one.
Yeah.
And then they got it all done. And then COVID hit, and then I heard
closed for a while?
I heard that 24's closing. A lot of things are in chapter 11 or BK. You got to be nimble.
Yeah,
man,
you got to be nimble.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So are you in the? Well, that was just that one new building, right, for 24-hour fitness, right? So
yeah.
You're, okay.
And the joining that, there's a commercial building there.
Okay.
It's an office industrial area. We have a shop in the back, and we have a small shop in the back. We have our office in the front. We have all our trailers. We use a lot of trailers, so that we have job trailers. We'll load up all the wallpaper when it comes in bit by bit, load in a trailer, take the trailer to the job site, and we have everything right there. And then same thing with our job trailer. We had our job trailer at Paula Casino because they're full every weekend.
Down there for a while,
Yeah, I was there for a year.
Yeah.
We'd pull all the, get it done by Wednesday. They'd put the furniture on Thursday. Friday, they'd clean the room. They'd rent it out Friday night, Saturday night. Sunday, they
still smelling like fresh paint.
Sunday morning, they demo another 10, and we did 10 rooms for a year.
Wow.
It was 500 rooms. Wow. And this is, fast paced. We're talking about. You got to be on it. You got to be on it. My crew was awesome. My foreman has been with me there on that. Who's on that job was, I think, 15 years.
Well, I guess doing the same. I imagine they're all pretty close to the same as far as layout and everything else. So it's got to be like riding a bike, right? You just get into a rhythm.
After you get that rhythm, you just go.
He first week he was a little bit over the
crunching
budget.
over on time.
He was a little bit over on the budget, and then we all figured what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And he got
a little bit more efficient,
He got really efficient, and we had the same crew, same thing.
Yeah.
And so they all knew their part, what they had to do, and he had them, very efficient, and they're really happy about that because. This term
anything that goes to plan is happy. Your customer's always happy.
Well, they figure that what they paid for the remodel, they made up on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because the people come in there between gambling and the shows and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that room pays for the remodel, so they didn't want to take the whole floor out for 2 months and do it that way. They rather just do this quick turn.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It worked out great for us. It was good. It was good.
That's crazy. So 41 years in the business, I got to imagine you've seen some stuff and heard some stuff and been in some crazy places.
No? Everything from, guys got hurt on jobs, you tell them not to do stuff and then they do it. From a guy working at a hospital, painting an exterior of a hospital. And, he had a ladder on his van. We told him not, get help. He went over there,
he had the ladder set up on top of his van?
No, on top of it.
Like it was trapped. Like
it's traveling.
Okay.
To strap it.
I thought you meant like he was setting it on top of the van.
No, not that. He would have been fired for that. He came to the job and he needed to take the ladder off the van. We told him, get help because it was a big extension. Yeah. And he put a 6-foot ladder there, grabbed the large 24-foot extension, grabbed it.
He just toppled
it. Went off. It wasn't,
Lesson in physics right there.
Yeah, he went down, broke his wrist, had a little bang on his head, nothing big. Went to the hospital.
Literally walked to the yard.
Walked 100 yards to the emergency room. Okay.
I was working outside. I need some help.
Okay. And then he got a pin in his wrist. He goes back to work, and then the sad part of the story is he has a little bang. They didn't notice anything. He works for a week and says, "I have 6 weeks later, I have a killer headache." He goes to the hospital because he has a brain bleed. Who would know this?
Right.
Doctors didn't pick it up, and then then he's out of work again. So you got to have coverage, insurance coverage.
We know that part.
Yeah, you know that. That's what you guys do, and everything from and our apps having them say they took their lunch break. And they what job they're on, and
which all that stuff holds up really, really well in court in California.
We want them to do. We have to make sure we ask them the question. They do it, and we want them to do it. But you just have to do everything you can to protect yourself and to stay in business. Otherwise, you can go down.
Well, I feel like 41 years later, you've done obviously some stuff right. You've done what you had to do at that point.
You got to make sure you cover yourself in every aspect because things happen.
Yeah,
things happen.
No, for sure, they happen on the job.
It only took 69 episodes.
Literally, that's the first time I made that joke or comment. Man, we've been missing out for 68 other episodes. Yeah. Well, Al, we appreciate it, man. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but before we do let you go, we want to make sure we give you an opportunity to let the people know where to find you. If you guys are on social media at all, or websites, or emails, whatever.
PrecisionWallcovering.net.
Okay.
And we're on social media, Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, Allan Horn, Precision Wallcovering, ALLAN. And we're out there bidding jobs every day. Taking care of customers and making it happen.
Sounds awesome. Good, man. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out and taking the time with us.
Yeah, this one was a fun one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks for asking me to come in, and I was kind of hesitant, but I'm glad I came in.
You were good.
So we don't bite, right?
But not too serious.
Was this your first podcast?
No, we did one for the PCA, Painting Contractors America, about our work, pro bono work. And they asked, threw it out, what if someone got money? What did they do with their money? And that's what I told them what we did.
And they brought you on to kind of tell your story.
Really cool.
That's awesome. That's very cool, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Very cool. Well, stay safe out there. Keep in touch, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a like or 5 stars or whatever means you like us.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode, and check out our website for more video content and extras.
While you're there, shoot us a message if you want to be a guest. We'd love to have you on.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.